Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. Back in the queue, and we're already matched up with String. In a base +5 game with 90 seconds. Lots of time to mull things over here. Gosh, what two colors should we go for, do you guys think? I'm voting red and blue. I really don't think just Grimbotches is going to beat something with both red and blue. Whether it's one of these two double blue things or even just Hannibal's would make a great addition. Given that you're getting some of that, there is an argument for D1E. Right? Doomed Mech is a good absorber, and there's a lot of good soak here. So I think this is a third NG game. And probably not a fourth NG game? Although, I don't know, with Doom Drones in the set, maybe. Maybe that's fine. I believe if you're going 4 NGs, DD, DDEE is actually better than D1E. So botches are going to be great. You want to be building like Bombarder Botch as like your every turn thing, right? But that's only 12 gold per turn. That's amazing. You want to be doing more than that because you have the economy of doomed mechs. So maybe you have a conduit as well and you're building like Gauss cannons or something. Or actually maybe you have a third forge and you're building walls. That's like 17 drones. So I think I'll just go D1E here. And yeah, so we were saying something like 12 plus. Actually, maybe you're building like Doomed Mech Botch Tarsier or something. I don't know, but you want a Hannibal, right? You could spend as much as like 18 or even 23 per turn on this kind of, with like BBA or 3 blue and 2 red, three blast forges and 1 animus. So you could spend quite a lot if you wanted. And there's enough soak to justify it. I don't think you want 4 blast forges though. You're building one of these two things and a Hannibal and like maybe a botch and maybe a cannon. Do I want a forge? Not really. But Doom Drones are fine. I don't know, I could build 2 Tarsiers and a Splitter to act as like defense against the Tarsiers my opponent's about to build. 2 Tarsiers is 8, a Splitter is 14. I can't add in a second forge that way. Alright, forget this. Let's try to add in 2 forges at once. Maybe that's not the right idea, because I don't really want to build a non-prompt thing right now, right? I kind of want to just build a wall. And add on some more tech along with it. And then here I can get the Doomed Mech. we're over the absorb barrier, so I want, well, there's a ton of soak in this game, and so I think I maybe don't want to commit super hard to botches. I don't want 2 of them dying at once. Just 1 is enough. And I want a Tarsier for more long-term sustain. That Rhino plays around my threat well, right? If I don't click the Doomed Mech, it lives to attack. And if I do click the Doomed Mech, they're pretty happy that I'm not absorbing as much as I could be. My opponent has done a much better job with these Doom drones. My economy, it's not exactly smaller, but it's less doomed. Yikes. I guess I can do the same thing, play around their threat of clicking the Doomed Mech. My advantage is attacker tempo. I got the 2 big blue things each a turn faster than my opponent, and so I'm putting on pressure, making it difficult for them to get the high value stuff. But they're doing well with rhinos, so sure. 6, 7, 8, 9 forced-ish attack. Probably a bit more coming up next turn. Oh my god. I just don't have any defense. I wanted to build something good this turn, but I can't do that. I just have to build, like, wall botch. I was sort of hoping to get a Hannibal in, and I'm like a buck short of that, which really, really stinks. Why did I get to keep a whole wall? They held back a Doomed Mech. I thought I would only be keeping 2 extra health alive and it would be like my Rhino. Six, 7. Only 7, like, absolutely forced attack, and so Hannibal's not necessarily that great. They're gonna hold back probably 2 attack here. Which means I keep the Rhino, and that's fine. Ugh. Alright, maybe with the soak provided by this Bombarder and Botch and Rhino, I can get something good next turn. Yeah, definitely it's not time to get some big soak like a Hannibal, even if I could, because I have a bunch of stuff that I want to defend with next turn already. This is the worst. They're getting like Wall Rhino, which is exactly correct. It defends for just enough that they can keep getting Bombarders and I can't. What is it that they're holding back that lets me keep one more thing alive than I think I'm defending for too much. I see. I should have clicked one more Doom drone. I threw away $1 here. I understand now. Now when they hold back their 2 attack... Actually, they're holding back, like, probably 3? Oh, I want this to be another Doomed Mech, actually. Hold the phone. Yeah, so I have another big absorber next turn. Okay. Oh, they clicked the Doomed Mech to absorb on Bombarder instead. I should maybe have considered doing this. Okay, opponent's definitely playing this better than I am. They're not going to transition to another Doomed Mech. They're just going to try to absorb on Bombarders. Starting now. Yeah, I guess this is the right defense, isn't it? I want to keep 4 health alive, including this Rhino, and the only way to do that is to also include the other Rhino. Okay. I'm just like, in terrible shape. This bot should probably have been a Tarsier, actually. Opponent has a lot of defense for free next turn. Wow. Yeah, I'm just miles behind here. I don't know what happened. Like, my opponent just had things structured so that they were able to buy the good things and I wasn't. And I don't exactly see why. Like, this all seems fine so far. You could consider cutting this forge to build a bit more econ. But you kind of want walls against a wall against the Tarsiers, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I got my second forge too early, and I needed some more drones first. But I don't think so. Like, you want the Doomed Mech pretty soon. And like, I got Botched Tarsier to go with it. It all seems fine. I got the Rhino and the Bomber. Maybe this third forge was just a mistake. Like, just too ambitious and not really thinking far enough in advance about what I'll be able to realistically do. It is sort of just like a forge for more walls, which is usually not correct. If I had just built 3 NGs here, I'd have Soak immediately, I'd have more money to play with next turn. And I could buy some more Doom drones. Yeah, I think this third forge was actually a big mistake. I didn't recognize it as being a forge for extra walls, which is something that I generally like say is well known not to be good. Because if you're building a forge to let you build more walls, you're spending $5 for the privilege of being allowed to spend $5 for 3 health. When, like, you could just spend $6 for 3 health. You have to buy 5 walls out of this forge before it pays for itself, and in the meantime, you're, like, down money. You have to pay up front, take out a loan, right? For this privilege. And so, like, I think a much better play here would have been just this. And that allows me the extra flexibility to build more of the things you actually want, right? Like, I don't remember exactly what opponent's turn was, but... I mean, probably looked... a lot like this, right? I think they followed with third forge. But suppose that they didn't. And just did this. Or maybe get a conduit to forge to force field some NGs. That would also be a good investment. I could maybe do that here. I'm still not in good shape. I can't really easily build a bombarder here. I guess... what is the problem here? Why is my opponent having such an easy time building good things and I'm not? Like, my income per turn is 24. His is 25. I'm holding back a Doom drone, so I'm losing some. But I'm down, like, I don't know, 2 drones maybe. And he's about to be down a few as well. So it's very close in terms of economy. How about attack? We're each holding a Doomed mech, so those sort of cancel out. Opponent has 6, 7, 8, 9, and a Bombarder. I have 5, 6, 7, and a Bombarder. So, okay, I'm down 2 attack. That's the problem. How did that happen? I guess the problem is my opponent built first Animus. They built 2 Tarsiers before I did, and they're up to attack all game. So, did I actually consider doing some different things this turn? Well, I did, but if I build something now, it's too late to be the first attacker. What about here? No. I just, like, flew through this turn as, like, well, obviously, you build some drones. But, you know, what if I did something a bit more aggressive like this? I'm on a pretty low economy. But... I don't know, maybe this, I don't remember what my opponent actually did, but this seems pretty reasonable. But I get the first Tarsiers. I don't even need a forge yet, right? I can just, because the opponent isn't threatening to attack at all yet, so... maybe this? A botch here would be fine, I think. We're over the absorb barrier. Opponent doesn't have anything they want to hold back. And I get a forge. Yeah, this might be a better approach. Is realizing, like, hey, being the first one to build attackers is pretty cool. Opponent adds in the second forge now, fine. Actually, they probably shouldn't have bought a botch here because I have these Zoom drones coming off, so they would just get more Tarsiers. And I would do this. And try to get in the Doomed mech now. Maybe I can even build another botch. Try to stop them getting the Doomed mech. Yeah, like, how can they? They can hold back the botch. This is free, I guess. build a Rhino and a Botch, I guess. They're sacking this Botch, which feels pretty bad, but that does get the Doomed Mech down. Maybe that's a worthwhile play. We're killing one, probably two attack. So honestly, this defends against what they're likely to do. And this, like, guaranteed defends. Holding back one more Doomy than necessary. So I could offer this Gambit, I suppose. And say, look, are you really going to absorb onto Rhino and attack with everything here? It's kind of hard, isn't it? And it would just be a reach for exact. Meanwhile, I'm threatening 8, 10, 12. Pretty tough, huh? Maybe they could do it, but I think this is difficult for them to take, and therefore I should offer it. I think for 13 even. Like, first of all, can they even do it? There's your reach, you got it. Like, still reaching for exact here if I want. Seems pretty dangerous, so they might or might not do this, but let's say they don't. And I'm just in what feels like a pretty strong position, honestly. Right? Like, I guess they do this? I don't know. It's not clear what they're supposed to do. Botches. Okay. And I'm actually already defended here, and I can lay down a bomber, botch, NGs. Hang on, did I attack for too much, by the way? This lets them keep 4 health alive, which is Wall, Doom Throne. Offering 5 health. What would be best is to find some way to let them keep 2 health alive, but that's clicking Doomed Mech, which is pretty tough. Offering 5 health instead by holding the Rhino is like a play, but it doesn't seem like a good one. Wait. Oh, no, I see. Hang on. Yeah, so the Rhino, it would be 6 health, of course, to keep the 2 walls. 5 doesn't do it. So this Rhino click is actually wasted. They have to do the same thing. Although maybe I would hold back the Botch instead, since it's dying anyway soon, but I'll try to save the Rhino charge. Yeah. So, okay. This is a lesson in the importance of getting the first attacker. I thought that this set has so much soak that you would be able to drone quite a lot. And therefore I didn't really worry about getting the first attacker. I wanted more drones. Why was I wrong? I mean, the most obvious answer that comes to my mind is that the soak in this set is A, non-prompt, and B, very threatening. So whoever gets it first kind of denies their opponent the ability to also get it. Because you can use it non-promptly. But when you do, the amount you're threatening against the opponent scales up so much that it's really hard for them to fit it in. So how can I recognize in the future sets that have this sort of property? Or maybe just like lots of sets have this property and I'm building too many drones a lot of the time. That is, like, I mean, Obviously, no matter what economy size you're going for, there's some point at which building the first attackers is better than not doing it. But in most, like, high absorber, good soak games, you want a lot of drones, and you don't rush out, like... What turn was this Animus? Like... You don't usually get like a bunch of drones and a turn 3 Animus. Right? This is basically just like a natural Animus line, but with Doom drones, you know. That you got a couple Doom drones, and then you start going natural Animus stuff. Player 1 natural Animus, I guess. Which obviously we're not player 1, so we couldn't take that line, but it's the same sort of speed. And it's funny because we were actually talking in Discord the other day, maybe yesterday. Someone was saying that, like, isn't third Engie into Animus first pretty common? And people were like, no, that doesn't seem common at all to me. It doesn't come up very much. But maybe it comes up more often than I realized. Because here, I think it was correct. And in fact, I mean, in the game, I did do it. I built like a turn 4 Animus. Right, because so third Engie into turn 3 Animus is like pretty weird and almost not playable, because normally you get your third Engie on turn 2 and then you build a bunch of drones, right? So the turn after you triple drone, you get the Animus, and that's sort of what happened here. But normally that's on turn 4, not on turn 3. My opponent did exactly that. Got the Animus on turn 4. So maybe in sets that look kind of high-ish econ, but also have some pressure properties, I should think more about building fewer drones, right? I evaluated the set as having good absorb and good soak, and like not that great attack, aside from botch. You know, Doomspec and Bombarder are okay attack, but they're better as soak. And so I evaluated the set as like not having very good attack and having good defense, therefore build a lot of drones. But when the defense is also attacking, I maybe should not think of the set as having bad attackers, but as having like both good defense and good attack, and therefore like it would be nice to start on the attack soon. Okay, maybe that's a lesson I'll try to take from this game. Okay, what else? Oh, I already talked about, like, the way that... No, this is correct. I thought I was holding back too many Doomies. Oh, I did, because... What am I doing? I got all defended, and then I said, well, got some money left, better build a wall. But if I'm building the wall, this Rhino should be a botch, right? That's what went wrong. I planned my defense to defend exactly against what I thought my opponent would do. And then I threw in another wall. And like, yeah, of course you have a wall left over after that. And doesn't that kind of suck? It gave me a little bit of tempo this turn, but I couldn't really use it because I was so far behind in attack. Huh. Okay, and then I think like we also learned a good lesson from the opponent about... So I already know that, in general, it is decent when Bombarder is your best absorber to hold back a single Bombarder at one stamina. Because the 3 attack you can sort of cash in whenever you want. Opponent sort of still has... It basically is just killing a wall, most of the time. And you can always kill the wall later. Opponent has to act like the wall is dead. And therefore, you buy yourself some defensive tempo by holding back the Bombarder to gain defense for yourself while continuing to threaten the opponent as much as if you had clicked it. So that's often an okay play. It didn't seem good to me here because you want to click it to get it available for soak so that you can continue absorbing on Doomed Mech. But actually, you would rather absorb on Bombarder than Doomed Mech. It's only 1 less absorb, and it's 2 more attack, right? This 3, it's also, of course, absorbing onto Bombarder actually absorbs for 1 less and attacks for 1 less this turn, because you're attacking for 2 instead of 3 and absorbing for 3 instead of 4. But it cashes in 2 attack that you're never going to see again at the expense of 3 attack that you can cash in later. So it's sort of net plus 2 attack as long as you can wait a little while for it. So I think the opponent was correct once a Bombarder was at this, at 1 stamina, to be absorbing on it instead of on Doomed Mech. And I didn't even notice the first time they did it. I clicked a button. I noticed the second time. Yeah, that was... So using Bombarder as your backline absorber was a great transition away from Doomed Mechs as soon as you can get away with it. So the Doomed Mech is sort of a stopgap put in place to let you absorb while you get the Bombarders lined up. I like that a lot. So that was another good lesson. Okay, well, thanks for the game, and thanks to you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.